Have you ever sent a text message that completely changed your life? Well, today we look at how a single text message changed everything for a young woman named Elizabeth Shoaf. And when she received this text from her boyfriend, she had no idea it would lead to her escaping death. But I'm going to tell you exactly what happened and what message she received next. But before we get into all of that, if you could please hit the like button, it really helps me out. And also make sure to subscribe so you never miss an exciting story. Thank you. Elizabeth Shoaf is a 29-year-old resident of West Virginia who works as a nurse at a hospital in Beckley. Elizabeth loves spending time with her family, friends, and her 2 dogs. On October 2016, Elizabeth was planning on spending the weekend with her boyfriend, Joshua James, who worked as a corrections officer at the Southern Regional Jail in Charleston, West Virginia. In the days prior to the incident, there were some arguments between Elizabeth and her boyfriend, but they were nothing unusual. At around 8 p.m. on Friday evening, Elizabeth got off work and went home. She was getting ready to go out for the night with her friends. While she was getting ready, she kept getting phone calls from her boyfriend, Joshua. He was asking her where she was and what she was doing. Throughout the night, he continued to call her and send her messages. This was not normal behavior for him. Usually, he didn't care what she was doing as long as she wasn't out with other guys. After Elizabeth finished getting ready, she decided to go to a bar with her girlfriend. She told her boyfriend that she was going out with her friends. However, she didn't know that this would be the last time she would speak to him for quite some time. At around 2 a.m. in the morning, Elizabeth left the bar and went back to her apartment. As she was walking into the apartment, she noticed that her front door was wide open. When she called out, there was no reply. She thought to herself, maybe Joshua is in the house and he opened the door. She walked inside and noticed that her 2 dogs were gone and the sliding glass door to her patio was wide open. She then realized that her dogs had gotten loose and ran away. As she was looking for her dogs outside, she heard a noise inside the apartment. She walked back inside and noticed a pair of feet on top of her bed. A man was hiding underneath the covers. As soon as the man saw her, he jumped off the bed and started running towards the door. Elizabeth screamed and started chasing after him. She wanted to get away from the intruder. When the man saw that she was chasing him, he pulled out a knife and swung it at her. The man managed to stab Elizabeth 3 times, and she fell to the ground. The attacker then took off his mask and revealed himself. It was her boyfriend, Joshua James. He then picked up Elizabeth's purse, grabbed her cell phone, and ran out of her apartment. Elizabeth was able to get back inside her apartment and lock the door. She had been stabbed in the neck, chest, and back. She was bleeding profusely. Her next-door neighbor heard her screaming and called 911. Elizabeth was taken to the hospital by ambulance. She was in stable but very serious condition. Elizabeth was able to tell the police that her boyfriend, Joshua, had attacked her and taken her cell phone. They began searching for him. Meanwhile, Elizabeth underwent surgery for her stab wounds. Joshua drove around in Elizabeth's car. He used her debit card at an ATM machine to withdraw money. He was captured on camera at various locations around town. The police were following every lead, but they were unable to find him. Elizabeth stayed in the hospital for several weeks. She made a full recovery physically, but she still suffered from anxiety and nightmares related to the attack. She would often wonder if her boyfriend Joshua had taken his own life, or if he was still out there somewhere. All these questions tormented her. One day, Elizabeth was looking through her Facebook messages. She saw that she had received a message from someone named Justin Vance. The message read, "Yo, Liz, hope you're doing good. If you need anything, let me know." Elizabeth responded to the message. She explained what had happened to her. She asked Justin if he knew anything about Joshua's whereabouts. Justin replied and said, "No, but I know where he's at right now." Elizabeth responded and said, "Tell me where he is. I just want to see if he's okay." Justin replied with an address in the town of Summersville, which was about 40 miles away. Elizabeth thanked Justin and told him that she'd be in touch. She then called the police and told them what Justin had said. They sent a SWAT team to the address and they found Joshua and arrested him without incident. On June 27, 2017, Joshua James pleaded guilty to malicious assault and burglary. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Elizabeth's nightmare was finally over. She was happy that justice had been served. But there was more to the story. After Joshua was sentenced, Elizabeth kept thinking about the text message that she received from Justin. She couldn't understand why he had sent her the message. Was it because he felt bad for her? Did he know that Joshua had attacked her? These thoughts continued to bother her. One day, Elizabeth decided to look up Justin on Facebook. She wanted to thank him in person for helping her. When she clicked on his profile, she saw that he worked at the Southern Regional Jail in Charleston. Elizabeth worked at the same hospital where her boyfriend, Joshua, worked as a corrections officer. Elizabeth then called the jail and asked to speak to Justin. She wanted to thank him personally for helping her. She asked to speak to him over the phone. The administrator of the jail informed Elizabeth that Justin was not allowed to speak to her. He informed Elizabeth that Justin was being investigated for possible misconduct related to Elizabeth's case. It turns out that Justin had sent Elizabeth a text message while he was on duty. He had looked up her address in the computer system. Then he called his friend Joshua and told him that he had located Elizabeth. This was the reason that Joshua was able to find her so quickly. When the police searched Joshua's apartment, they found the bloody clothes that he had worn during the attack. He had tried to clean up the bloodstains, but they were still visible. In addition, the police found out that Joshua had purchased a one-way bus ticket to Florida. It seemed as though he was planning to run away. The police also found out that Joshua and Justin were friends. They had both posted pictures of themselves together on Facebook. However, there was something else. The police found text messages on Elizabeth's phone that showed that she and Joshua had argued over text messages. 3 days before the attack, Joshua sent her a text message that read, "You have 24 hours to respond to these texts. If I don't hear from you, I'm moving on." Elizabeth responded and said, "What do you mean?" Joshua replied, "I'll find someone who will love me and treat me better than I treat you." Elizabeth was devastated after reading this message. She couldn't believe that Joshua would say such things to her. She had no idea that he would take things so far. During the investigation, Justin admitted that he had helped Joshua find Elizabeth. He said that he did this because he owed Joshua a favor. He claimed that he had nothing to do with the attack. However, there was more to the story. During a phone conversation that Joshua had with a friend, he confessed that he had asked Justin to help him find Elizabeth. He said that he had intended to kill her. However, he told his friend that he wouldn't hurt her too bad. He said that he would only hurt her enough so that she would live. This was the motive behind the attack. Joshua had planned to collect on a $250,000 life insurance policy for Elizabeth, and that's what happened to the couple. Do you think Elizabeth was lucky that she survived the attack? Why do you think Joshua did what he did? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And also, please remember to subscribe so you never miss an exciting story. Thanks for watching.